and the podcast audio up and or running. All right, and I do see the person on the telephone line. If you did want to speak, you can press 1 and we can bring you in, or maybe you're just listening by telephone. It might be more convenient that way, and I can dig it. All right, so Bill Cosby is pretending to be Cliff Huxtable in prison.
Alright.
Why is that a headline I have to deal with? Because Phoenix Calita chose it for me. Yeah, so apparently, according to sources close to a probably gossip site called Radar Online, the former actor, but far more professional and prolific rapist and lackluster comedian is acting as Dr. Cliff Huxtable, whom he played on The Cosby Show, and is allegedly treating fellow inmates. But he's not actually a doctor.
Also, wasn't he a gynecologist?
On the show? Which, that one, I'm not blaming on the goddess of irony. Like, on some level, I think that's some extra sick shit with him, as that was probably funny to him in his own head, knowing that he's a rapist and he's going to play this character, and that character's going to be America's favorite dad. He probably laughed himself to sleep many a night thinking about that.
Probably.
This is a quote from the source. Alright, it says, he believes he learned a lot about how to cure people and speak to patients after playing Dr. Huxtable for nearly 8 years on The Cosby Show. Cosby is reportedly telling people still close to him that medical officials at Pennsylvania's SCI Phoenix State Prison are overeducated, unintelligent children with a clipboard. Overeducated. That nigga mad that they stripped down the motherfuckers that gave him like honorary PhDs and shit. All of a sudden, people that have actual PhDs are overeducated. Oh, he said Dominica, not the Dominican Republic. So that's oh shit, that's way out of context for people tuned in. While we were off the air, we were talking about this 21 Savage. And Sam Loco is helping us out with exactly where this 21 Savage is from, because we don't know much about this 21 Savage. But continuing on, so Cosby is reportedly okay, quote, he is accepting appointments from inmates to help diagnose anything from a cold to obesity. If he thinks they're incurable, he refers them to the infirmary with a preliminary diagnosis.
What the fuck? Is he just trying to like pretend that he's got like Alzheimer's or something so he can get out of prison sooner?
I did not think that this story would have this much detail in it. I really didn't. I didn't think it would go this damn far. Okay. Continuing. Quote, I'm just offering Dr. Huxtable, wait, that's what he says? I'm just offering Dr. Huxtable? And that's, the source says, Cosby proclaimed. If that's not strange enough, he's also reportedly even dressing the part. He told us that he wore a bed sheet like an apron to get into character, the source claims. He said his medical skills are a rad tusty since he played Dr. Huxtable, but you realize the cognitive dissonance in the sentence, skills a tad rusty since he played.
Right.
Nigga, help me. He said, but he's still hip to the role. All right. Bill Cosby is serving at least 3 years after he was convicted of drugging and sexually assaulting Andrea Constand in 2004.
I'm really just like, I really think he's trying to get out of prison early on like that mental whatever. Like, I don't know. Not instability, but feebleness or whatever. Like, I have Alzheimer's or dementia. I can't be here. Send me home. I don't know, man.
You gotta be like Ted Nugent, man. Shit on yourself.
Oh, that's gross.
Yeah, that's how Ted Nugent dodged the draft.
Gross.
Fucking
Theo said I thought he was blind.
Which for our white friends out there, Theo is doing what we call throwing shade at who we call hoteps. We can get into that anytime you need.
Actually, hoteps are Bernie bros.
Oh yeah. Yeah, just so folks know, as we wrap up this segment, somebody was trying to prove that Bernie bros are being mean to them, and they pulled up a screenshot from a Tariq Nasheed tweet, and that is how this segment ends. Please.
I thought you said a double story.
Double story. I did. Yeah. Because I do have to get up in the morning and drive a Skyjack around.
Oh, that's fun.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it should be a 2-day project. And I really want to get with the sanitation department. Theo Loco said 3 years only? You must not have heard this podcast before. Sir. All right, so, shit, we did not... Okay, yeah, we hit this in the headlines. Okay. Yeah. So, Lamekia Dockery died in an Indiana jail after her painful cries for help were ignored. So, this was on July 31st, 2018. This is last year. And, excuse me, right now it's February 4th, 2019, Evening Wine Cellar. And, Lamekia Dockery's name was entered into a sacred canon of black women who lost their lives in police custody due to neglect. And Phoenix Calida said it's okay to call this tacit murder. Yes. That's good. That's like accurate wording.
Let's see.
Yeah, Phoenix Calida's going to check and make sure that I'm not saying weird words. Dockery's tragic story was profiled in a Wednesday report by the New York Times, which revealed that she died at the Elkhart Community Corrections work release facility located in Indiana. For 6 long days, she complained of excruciating pain, but was given no medical assistance. This is a quote from someone on the Twitter, and their @ is at Sarah Maslin Ner, which is Sarah Sarah, Maslin Maslin, and the Ner is NIR. Says Lamekia Dockery begged to go to the hospital so much that guards came up with a solution. They put her in solitary. When she kicked the door, they came up with another. They shackled her to the bed where she died. No one will be charged. Mm-hmm. All right.
Yeah, and that's actually, like, I guess you would say the update of the story. I think we missed it the first time, but that's the update. They have investigated themselves and found out they have done nothing wrong, so no one needs to be charged for anything.
White people just like saying the word investigate, as this next sentence will allude to. The Times investigation found that Dockery's complaints were documented and shared across several officers and administrators at the Elkhart facility. This is a quote from one of the corrections officers' logs. Quote, "Offender Dockery stated to me around 0800 at the front counter that she was having stomach pains for 2 days and wanted to go to the hospital." End quote. All right, there's another entry from 12:10 p.m. the next day. It says, she sprawled out on the floor, stating she couldn't breathe. She seemed to be talking just fine.
Fuck your breath.
And, I think that there's, there's probably like a little wavy area in between these two. Mm-hmm. But, like, we've seen the study out of the, it was a university in the UK. I haven't covered it in so long, I don't remember the exact institution. But the institution that conducted the study had about like 60 participants, mm-hmm. and it was a medical school. Yeah. And it was that white people really actually don't think black people feel as much pain, mm-hmm. and they would do examples like show a video of a sharp object going into white skin and then going into black skin, and like you could literally hear the room like silent and not really reacting when it went through the black skin, mm-hmm. but gasping and whatnot when it went through the white skin.
Right.
So like there's that. But then I think there's also just sadistic liars that know goddamn well you're in pain. And they're just like, I don't think so. Because if they say I don't think so, then they get to enjoy seeing you in more pain for longer. We're going to take a look at the comment section here as we are live doing this. Tally Loco said, was she the one who said she was having trouble breathing? And they and we just hit that that part in that past paragraph. Let's see here. Excuse. All right, so this is a quote from a work release coordinator that comes from an email obtained by the New York Times. It says, quote, I am pretty sure she is going through withdrawals. She claims she hasn't ate since she has been here, which is probably why her stomach hurts, end quote.
Oh my God.
Dockery was a 36-year-old black woman, a parent and an addict. And for all those reasons combined, when she entered the facility on July 25th, 2018, her humanity was met with little regard. Oh, the optimism in this writer.
Yeah.
They think that's... Oh, no. Oh, this writer, it's a little adorable. A wee bitty boo.
I'm trying to find out where the study was done, and this is like...
Oh, she's looking up that. Okay. As we dance it forward with this article off madamenoir.com. That's always a hard word for me to say.
Yeah, and normally I don't get articles off here, but they were the only ones covering it that day.
Yeah, I don't know why I don't really fuck with them. I don't know why.
Because they're very heavily editorializing in the writing. Like, it's factually correct, but it's like, could you be a little less... Like, I would like to put my own spin on it. Just tell me what happened,
Yeah, I'm trying to do my job. They don't do listicles, right?
I don't know.
I really have no idea why I don't fuck with them. Yeah, I don't know why. Doobadoop, skip out.
Apparently there have been a series of studies about this. One was in Italy, one was in the UK, and it looks like 2 were in America. Everything from what you were talking about with the stabbing skin to studies showing black children are less likely to get pain medication in the emergency room.
I remember that one.
Black veterans are less likely to be prescribed opioids than whites.
Oh, man, that one backfired on them.
Yeah, there's actually a few studies on this, and all saying the same thing, basically.
Well, let's see. This continues. When she arrived, facility administrators found her blood contained, all right, let's do this. Her blood contained benzodiazepine, amphetamine, and methamphetamines, which automatically placed her in her on a 7-day lockdown. For those treacherous 6 days, she vomited, lay in the fetal position, and refrained from eating due to her discomfort. As a form of reprieve, staff members reportedly gave Dockery an Alka-Seltzer, and her fellow inmates pooled their money together to purchase Tylenol from a vending machine. The people.
Yeah.
The people.
And also the fact that they had to pool their money together to buy fucking Alka-Seltzer.
Yeah, well, they're not making as much as those big ball and firefighters in the California women's prisons. Come on. They're not getting a whole $1. Whew. This is a populist podcast.
A little bit.
All right. Dancing it forward and continuing on off madamenoir.com. One inmate who spoke to the Times on condition of anonymity out of fear of retaliation said Dockery knew of her ill-formed fate. Quote, she kept saying, I'm going to die in here, end quote. At one point, she was placed in solitary confinement because of how loud her cries were, viewed as they may have meant to say insubordinate.
I think they did.
Yeah, so I think there's a bit of a typo there. It says viewed as subordinate. When she kept pounding on the door for medical attention, they shackled her. She died the next day on July 31st. A medical examiner ruled that she died due to sepsis. Okay, You do your best editing after you hit send. Sepsis, a bacterial infection of the bloodstream, offset by a perforated ulcer in her intestine.
Oh, Jesus.
Shit.
That is not the way to go.
She was hurting. Dockery's mother, Charmel, recalled when the family went to review Lamekia's body, tears stained her cheeks. Months later, in October 2018, Vicky Becker, the Elkhart County prosecutor, announced no charges would be brought forth at the close of the police investigation. According to Indiana's criminal code, inmates at correctional facilities are not considered dependents, and staff are not criminally liable if they do not provide help. Don't you love prosecutors? Prosecutors should run for public office.
They should. Prosecutor is a fucking public office.
They should run for higher office. Because it's like Obama's second term. That's when they really do their stuff.
Oh.
Ma'am. All right. So, yes, and this will be linked with the show post for this giggity gosh darn episode. All right, winecellarmedia.com. Thank fuck Phoenix Kalita reminded me that this was a double segment.